Hello everybody and welcome back to week number 3 of the Quake Pro League, where EU and CIS has its last series of the night. It's the champ, the one and only big K1llsen, going up against K1llsen in Vengeurr, who's looking to try and take a pretty significant title today.
Yeah.
If Vengeurr can get this win on K1llsen, it's going to be, I think, a major morale boost, because he's already doing well in the Quake Pro League, and I do strongly think that, yes, online is Vengeurr's comfort zone.
Yeah.
But if anything's going to boost him to a level that he is, higher than he is now, taking out the QuakeCon world champion is one hell of a way to do, I think.
I mean, definitely. And this is a battle of experience versus youth, in a way, because Vengeurr, one of the youngest players in the league, very motivated, extreme aim skills, and just an all-around really good player. But K1llsen's got years and years of experience, knows how to stay calm, knows how to deal with everything that you might throw at him. So this is a very interesting matchup.
What really separates Vengeurr for me is just his hunger. This is a hungry boy. He's always looking to get as involved and competitive as he can, and even during all the off seasons where there wasn't a huge amount of competitive Quake activity, Vengeurr was grinding ranked, at least going for a #1 spot. It was something to climb for, and it was something he was going for, because, I mean, Duel is, by all accounts, Vengeurr's passion in life.
Yeah.
Like, he, at a very, very young age, he was just playing Quake. He grew up watching Quake, watching the duels, looking up to, all these players. And they always say, right, that your heroes become your rivals in this line of work.
And that's definitely true.
That's
right
exactly
here.
what's happened, as his opponent is the QuakeCon 2019 world champion. K1llsen has had one hell of a journey himself. This is a player that started Quake Champions as a player that was not placing as highly as I think he knew he should be placing. He held himself to an exceptionally high standard.
Yeah.
Told everyone after QuakeCon 2017, this isn't me. This is not a reflection of my skill, and I'm going to come back harder than ever. 2 years later, the guy's the world champion, and he has, without question, the biggest target on his back.
And I mean, if we just look back at some of the other tournaments, in the 4 last LAN tournaments, K1llsen finished top 3 in every last one. Top 3 in the last 4 tournaments. How is that for a track record and to show people really what you are capable of in the end? And on the other hand, Vengeurr, I think, has kind of been underperforming a bit, because people are expecting great things from such a young up-and-coming player. And I think that at the end of QuakeCon, he was kind of disappointed with himself as well. At least that's the impression that I got from some of the things he said on social media. And he knows that he can do a lot better, because so far, despite coming so close time and time again, he is still only breached top 5 at one major LAN in the past. So I think he really wants to prove himself, and what better of an opportunity than to go up against K1llsen himself.
And I think also, not forgetting that QuakeCon this year was the beginning of the journey. It was the very first World Championships for the Quake Pro League.
Yeah.
However, it was what has really set everything in motion. And if you're able to remain consistent, as we know K1llsen has done, which I think is why K1llsen is he's the champ for a reason.
Yeah.
You said it, he's been placing so high at every single LAN he's been recently a part of. It's a matter of, can Vengeurr take the initial results, don't worry about them, I think reflect on them and improve.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what the Quake Pro League is all about. It's improvement, isn't it? We have got the picks and bans. We know what maps are going to be going on. We know the champions that are going to be selected. Starting things off with Awoken, Vengeurr is projected to do very, very well in general throughout the whole Quake Pro League. I feel like he is the strongest on this map than anyone out there, and he's got Sorlag, who is an exceptionally dangerous champion at the same time. Blood Run's going to be next. Vengeurr versus K1llsen, highly defensive map, expected to be C. The clutch was banned out.
Yep.
I mean, if it's Blood Run, you're probably going to remove that champion, aren't you? And then finishing things off, Anarchy removed, Corrupted Keep selected, BJ and Quake-llsen selected.
And I think that Blood Run basically is the exact same situation as we saw in our last matchup. One player, this time Vengeurr, playing K1llsen, very defensive, not a lot of mobility, not a lot of offensive capabilities, as opposed to K1llsen playing Ranger, lots of mobility, very fast, he can use that orb to do a lot of damage. So once again, I think that if K1llsen gets the lead here, it's going to be so difficult for Vengeurr to make anything happen.
It's going to be a game of momentum, I think. K1llsen, what makes him so dangerous is just, he's so optimal. isn't he?
Yeah.
This guy, it's just, he's rarely making crucial mistakes. He's rarely missing crucial shots. Like, everything he's doing makes total sense. I feel like he's just playing Quake Champions at a level above so many people, where even, you know, look at the grand finals or the final stages of QuakeCon 2019, where it was Quake who was looking unstoppable all weekend, and K1llsen just somehow made him look easy.
I mean, K1llsen has just been playing at a level that we've very rarely seen from him in the past. He's hitting everything, he's making the right decisions, and he's so optimistic. The way he goes about it too, the way you see him, and he's got a brand new haircut. Maybe we'll be able to see that later. Is it going to give him the strength he needs?
I wasn't sure I was going to mention it, but I mean, he's very public about it. He mentioned that he lost a dare or something similar, where he has dyed his hair completely bright blue. If we do manage to get an interview with him or something, I'd love to show the lovely... I think it looks pretty cool.
It does. I believe it was just after he won QuakeCon, he basically just said that, okay, we're going to be able to... I'm going to dye my hair. And he asked his chat on stream, decide the color. And in the end, blue it has become. So...
the big blue K1llsen.
Yep, absolutely.
How about that? But I mean, we're expecting a absolute cracker of a match so far. Predictions, though, Flea. What do you predict will happen by the end of the series?
I'm still going to give it to K1llsen. 2-1. I think that Vengeurr is definitely capable of taking at least one map off of him, but yeah, Vengeurr, as we all know, he can play so well when things are going his way, but then we've also seen him just kind of crumble going up against other opponents, so it will really depend on how well he's playing today.
I think I actually would agree with you. I predicted 2-1 for K1llsen, purely on the basis that I do genuinely think that Vengeurr has a really good shot at winning Awoken. However, if he doesn't win Awoken, I mean, I project a 3-0 personally. Yeah. But we're about to find out our last match of EU CIS. Vengeurr versus K1llsen. Vengeurr looking to send a message. And K1llsen trying to remind us that man's the world champ for a damn good reason.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to lose. Now he's got such a good track record, beating Cooler 3-0 last week, and he wants to keep that streak going. K1llsen playing the Doomslayer, excellent champion on this map, and he's already got that LG ready, which is the perfect tool rather to deal with a fast, aggressive champion like Zorlak. He's gonna set up on Mega, probably won't be able to get on Heavy, but he's still gonna push in, see if he can do some damage.
I say shouts to the QuakeCon rocket launcher.
Oh yeah.
K1llsen saying to everyone, "Do you know who I am?"
Just a friendly reminder, but I won this, is basically what he's saying right now. Good use of the spit right there. Actually, K1llsen isn't even going to push through for Heavy at all. Mega has been delayed quite substantially. In comes Vengeurr. The LG is solid. Vengeurr once again up the bounce pad, and down he goes. K1llsen, excellent play, and he'll be able to take Mega as well.
K1llsen taking that fight wonderfully well. Vengeurr putting a lot of confidence in his rockets, but I just love the composure there from K1llsen, how he barely even moved in that fight.
Yeah.
Vengeurr's the one that's flying around, getting that entry damage, full speed ahead, and K1llsen was just kind of, you know, barely standing put. He was barely strafing. And the missed rail, and out of rockets. That's unfortunate. He has got the rail though.
Yeah. K1llsen just not even going for Heavy right there, even though he definitely could have dropped on it. Very collected play, but he shows his face again. Vengeurr getting the jump shot. Perfect rail, tying it up 1-1, and he might find K1llsen right off the bat. K1llsen has only got a rocket launcher to defend himself with, but that opening damage was just too much, and down he goes. Vengeurr taking a lead.
Vengeurr understanding that against the Doomslayer too, sometimes you have to give the rocket entry a little bit more time to factor in for the double jump. You know, Doomslayer's going to be in the air for a bit longer, and even though there's damage coming on the way, Vengeurr just stayed there patiently. The damage on the shotgun's not going to be enough to take him out. He's going to get some spawn trapping as well. Barely anything though, 20 damage as he's retreating. K1llsen will laugh at that.
Yeah, K1llsen does manage to take Mega though, and Vengeurr out of a major item. And this might be difficult for him. Heavy is up in 15 seconds, so still plenty of time. And at this point, he should know that K1llsen doesn't have a rocket yet. And that's what he wants to keep that way as well. That's why he's sticking around at T, trying to deny the rocket launcher from K1llsen.
And that's what the acid puddle is. As he's going to retreat, the acid puddle is going to at least give him some information over does he have the area or not. But K1llsen is not going to stand there yet. Looking for a rail. Going to miss its mark twice in a row now.
Yep.
And now he's retreating back just to get a little bit of that health. Just disengage for a little bit if Vengeurr's sitting on a lead. And you actually look at the timing, right? There's a huge amount of time before Mega and Heavy spawn. So a little bit of a room to wiggle around, have a bit of a play.
Yep. Vengeurr waiting down below at the teleporter. Both players actually slowing it down quite substantially right now, trying to bait something out on that jump pad. And still K1llsen finding a rail somehow. Right now, Vengeurr set up on Heavy. That rocket, that's definitely going to help him, and he's actually going to make a move on Mega instead. K1llsen, not expecting that at all. That was a beautiful play from Vengeurr, stealing what's actually kind of K1llsen's item in that situation.
Yeah, there is the instant turnaround on the Acid Spit. You can really see, I think, just how much respect Vengeurr is establishing here.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you might go, hey, did he just kind of pull the trigger too early on that ability? But I think ultimately he knows that he's against K1llsen, and the big thing about fighting K1llsen, no pun intended, is the fact that he leaves no room for error. You really can't make a mistake against this guy because he punishes you so hard.
Yeah, and K1llsen managed to secure Mega. He's making his move onto Heavy now as well, but that LG is murderous. K1llsen just not really seeing a way to drop down or do much damage whatsoever, and that's a very good exchange for Vengeurr, getting himself onto the Heavy, and now just getting into a fight with K1llsen. Out comes the Spit, he hits him once. Fortunately for him, K1llsen very quickly gets it away with that health ball.
Now Vengeurr's peppering down some rockets, but needs a lot more damage than that. Every time a fight takes place, look at the stack at the top of the screen, it's pretty much even all the time. And I think that's the trouble the two players are having, is that Vengeurr's the one that's trying to constantly push the advantage, as is quite natural as a Sorlag player. You know, you're the one with the speed, gets a good rail on the jump pad. Surprised K1llsen actually used the jump pad, actually, knowing that Vengeurr had that angle, but he turns around and he smells blood. He wants to get a little bit more, pushes him out of this map, and he finally lands the LG. It's 2-3. K1llsen, not unhealthy either. And he's in a good position to sit and defend these major pickups.
Yeah, that was a very clean finish from K1llsen. Vengeurr couldn't do any damage on them in that exchange. And right now he's going to get a Mega, and he's got a perfect beeline onto the Heavy as well. Getting full control of the items. Vengeurr, are you going to go for this? No, surely he will not. He's going to back away instead, and K1llsen just going to pop up and do a little bit of damage. And there we go. Vengeurr actually making a move on the Heavy, and he gets it too. K1llsen losing control so quickly.
Thank you, double jump. I think without the double jump, K1llsen might have been a sitting duck in that situation. Very limited and all predictable routes to escape. Gets a beautiful combo though with the rocket and the rail. Vengeurr, I think he's staying around a little bit too long and did not respect the possibility of K1llsen turning around on that one. It was the entry of the rocket and rail that put Vengeurr weak enough. By the time he took the damage, I think he was like, wait, maybe I shouldn't still be around here. And by that point, K1llsen was already in for the kill. Yeah,
and K1llsen, despite being behind from basically the start of the matchup, he's now managed to tie it up 3-3. And he's looking for more damage on Vengeurr. Vengeurr definitely has the stack advantage. Luckily for K1llsen, none of that Spit will connect. Mega will be up in a few seconds. And K1llsen actually jumps into the Spit again. He surely did not want this. Has to back away. Meanwhile, Vengeurr takes Mega and makes his way onto the Heavy.
Wonderful rail. However, there's some sizable downtime in between shots. K1llsen dancing with the devil holding that angle, but he's going to survive anyway. Vengeurr not quite able to seal it there.
Oh.
Uh-oh, information. That's what that is.
Yeah. And a decent amount of damage too, actually. Vengeurr right now hungry. He smells the blood. Wants to chase K1llsen down. Jumping through the teleporter. In he comes. Gets so much speed as that fast lizard. And just pounces down on K1llsen.
So well played from Vengeurr. And again, it almost like once more looked a little bit of a level like he just wasn't. K1llsen wasn't expecting Vengeurr to just push the way he did. But this is why so many players say that Vengeurr is just dangerous on this map.
Yeah. Keeps finding the angles and doing the damage. And right now he's got a very nice rotation going. There's around 15 seconds between Mega and Heavy, so that puts him in an excellent position to take one and then just move on to the other and keep that rotation going for the next 3 minutes of the map. Mega again going to Vengeurr, but he's not going to Heavy right away. He's first looking to do some damage. Look at that speed come out. He will catch K1llsen, but K1llsen excellent avoiding the damage right there. And right now, K1llsen might actually be in a position where he can do some damage onto Heavy. Gets it.
Oh, that was almost a ring out. And the issue is the amount of damage he took means he can't escape. He can't fight for that Heavy. Forced to run away. Vengeurr maintaining a massive stack and a beautiful level of control, but he just lost a million points of life right there. His health just disappeared. And just like that, he's forced away from the Mega. And now K1llsen in not so bad of a position to actually immediately fight back. I'm not even entirely sure where a huge bulk of that damage came from.
Yeah, K1llsen is just doing such excellent plays with those rockets into rails, because that's what it was. He shoots a rocket, switches to rail, and then you jump right into it and finishes it off. Vengeurr instantly though going for the refrag. No damage off the respawn, but he is still one frag in the lead.
He just knew that K1llsen was weak, so nothing to really stop him from just pressing forward with his face. But he gets beaten to the Mega. That's bad news. And this is an open opportunity really for K1llsen to chase this down. He's so weak. Even in this room, with the amount of pickups that are available, it's still not enough compared to K1llsen's stack. And now there's not going to be a lot of collectibles on the map. The heavy gets taken as well, and this is unfortunate for Vengeurr. I mean, he now has nothing to retreat to. He's collected most of the stuff.
Yep.
Doubling back again, but that's going to take time. And the trade! That, you know what? I think that's actually a win for Vengeurr.
That absolutely is a win for Vengeurr because it keeps the deficit, the difference in frags the exact same. And K1llsen is still playing catch-up right now. Actually, it's Vengeurr who's now in the better position, raining down the rockets from above.
Everything got taken, even the stuff down near Banana. And the moment they traded it out, Vengeurr was able to essentially reset the situation. And now he's maintaining his 1 frag lead. That was absolutely a win, but it's been very, very back and forth, hasn't it, Lee? We're actually dawning just over now the 1-minute warning period. And this is the map that I think Vengeurr truly has the best chance to win on. So this next 60 seconds will be pivotal.
He's looking for more damage, gets a good position, uses the LG wisely so. And right now, all the pressure is on K1llsen. He's got 50 seconds, needs to make at least 1 more frag happen. But Vengeurr is relentless, isn't just going to back down and tries to do damage that he can, but misses. That was such an important trail. Had he hit that, it would have bought him a lot of time.
Vengeurr has a pretty difficult decision to make, right? When does he go through the teleporter, if at all? He knows he hasn't got a lot of stack. He gets hit by 1 rail, especially as he's given up the control that K1llsen, if he lands a crucial shot, can chase this one down. But the defensive shots from Vengeurr have been absolutely perfect. And now just waste time, sit and defend, be as careful as possible. The bonus light armor, he'll take that for sure.
Yeah. Always cringe a little when you go up to that little ledge for the small armor, because 1 rail through the teleporter and off the map you go, and with 10 seconds left, it's not something you want to see happen. And right now it looks like K1llsen is on the wrong side of the map, and Vengeurr will probably indeed manage to run down the clock. GG, actually, K1llsen. He took 3-0 off of Quake back at QuakeCon. He won again last week to Quake 3-0 again, but right now off to a bad start by his standards.
It wasn't one-sided. I guess that's one of the things to take away. And honestly, the control and the pickups weren't super lopsided either. It was only a matter of about 4 one side, 4 the other way over the course of 10 minutes. That's not a massive amount, but it was Awoken. And Awoken is a map that you pretty much, if you're a betting man, you'll be betting on Vengeurr almost 100% of the time there. Even after a fantastic start, after the way that first frag goes and the decisions that are made, bit of a tongue twister there, sorry, it's a bit more like, we were expecting K1llsen to maybe, run with it. But it was just the composure that we saw from Vengeurr the moment he caught those crazy frags at the beginning. Really well disciplined. And it is discipline, something that is impossible to teach, isn't it? And it's something that grows with every tournament that Vengeurr competes in. These situations where you need to have the guts to sit there, hit that knock-up rocket, wait like 2 seconds for Doomslayer to land, and then shoot again, all the time you're taking damage. So, props to Vengeurr for keeping it together, and props to Vengeurr for taking this first map. But that is only one. We have Blood Run next, and Vengeurr and K1llsen, the champions that are getting selected. Interested to see how Vengeurr's going to take this one.
I hope Vengeurr can keep the same level of composure, because that's something that he struggled with in the past. He's come so close to winning many times, but then something just goes wrong and he picks one bad fight and it snowballs out of control. So I really hope that he can keep this up. Looks like, Awoken was an excellent map on his behalf, but now we're moving into Blood Run. Very different map, so much slower, and especially at this point, given the champion picks, I think that he needs to be so careful not to surrender frags at the start to K1llsen, because otherwise he's just going to bunker down as that K1llsen.
Yeah, especially seeing as we know how, I think, pivotal we can see Blood Run go in the past, where it is so heavily about the start. We did see a lot of bans immediately introduced. K1llsen banning Clutch. That's something that that doesn't really surprise me at all. I've spoken to him, one-to-one in the past, and he's had some pretty colourful things to say at LANs about Clutch in general. So that doesn't really surprise me. But the matchup of just who can out-patience the other, we saw a little bit of that on Awoken, and it did come down to Vengeurr. I think the mobility of Sorlag did actually have a pretty big part in that. It's why whenever he's on Awoken, he does try and get that champion whenever possible. The amount of times you've seen him use Sorlag on that map is, you lose count whenever he's doing these practice games against people. But yeah, it's the fact that Blood Run enforces such a different style of play that we'll see. K1llsen has historically been very successful on this map.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If Awoken was Vengeurr's map, then Blood Run is K1llsen's. Just when you just link a player to a map, that's very similar.
Yeah, fits their playstyles very well as well. So Vengeurr's gotta be careful, because this is something that can get out of his hands so quickly if he doesn't play it carefully. And if he just gives K1llsen a finger, he's gonna take your whole hands, he's gonna take your arm, and before you know it, it's done and deal.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's not even talking about the final map, which is going to be Corrupted Keep. I think it's a nice little example of I think a variety of play styles. The way I consider this series to go is this is just one giant test for Vengeurr, as far as I'm concerned, because he's always trying to show everyone that he is of that level, and I think he's already proved it. Like, come on now, he's already proved that he is of that level. But championship status and the ability to be arguably the best in the world. I mean, he's had a climb, and he has a climb that is continuing to be taken, but if he can take out the world champ on the way there, well, when the LAN happens, who knows?
Yeah, and we're about to find out exactly how that is going to go. Starting off on Vengeurr's point of view, immediately setting up a sneaky totem around the corner that's obviously not really looking so much for damage as it is to just set up. And look at that, K1llsen also just walking, not making any noise whatsoever. This is not good for K1llsen at all, but Vengeurr doesn't have the LG. He's got the machine gun though, and he gets the frag. This is bad for K1llsen.
A rocket and a machine gun and a dream is what Vengeurr had. And
oh
no!
He misses and he falls down!
No! K1llsen, the mistakes! The mistakes back to back! Oh, that's a fumble. That's a fumble and a half.
Absolutely.
But if it happens, may it happen in the first 50 seconds and not sudden death or something like that, I suppose. But what this means for Vengeurr is control, totem establishment, just making sure that he has a little bit of knowledge over where K1llsen is on the map, the kind of weapons he might have available to him. Like, that's a horrendous start. It could not have gone worse for him.
Oh no, again he just goes through the teleporter. Vengeurr waiting for him, but luckily for K1llsen, he's going to miss that final rail. And actually K1llsen doing a remarkable amount of damage despite being in the worst position. He's going super aggressive right now.
And the damage is exactly what he needed. It's put Vengeurr in a position where he can't quite chase crazy hard. That said, fair amount of pickups nearby, but the timing is the next objective. The fact that Mega is now just about to spawn.
Yeah. Heavy will be the next item up. K1llsen took Mega. He's looking very stacked right now. He's outstacking Vengeurr quite significantly. And it looks like he'll be able to get Heavy as well. And he does find some of those totems. That's an excellent play from K1llsen. He's going to stop Vengeurr dead in his track from getting a nest of them going on and getting that instant overstack.
It just makes that instant defensive style so much harder to actually, like, defend against when they have the totems around. She can heal up whenever she wants. An all-important asset that you don't have access to. It's very, very one-sided. But that's the kind of thing I think K1llsen, that's what makes him so strong, is this optimization. If there's any way he can even the odds, he'll always do it.
Yeah, and right now, despite Vengeurr having a 2-frag lead, he's clearly out of control, and K1llsen is just running the map the way he wants to and doing pretty consistent damage to the Italian player as well. And there we go again, finds a rail off the bat. That's a lot of health gone, immediately manages to restack it, but also a lot of armor. And that is especially what Vengeurr will be struggling with in the next few seconds.
Vengeurr definitely doesn't have a lot of information over where he is. Gets that lovely reactionary rail. K1llsen in the middle of a strafe jump, so no way of dodging that one. Heavy armor with the next objective now. Vengeurr looking to establish threat in the middle. Has a totem if he needs it. Actually uses it for opening damage, in fact.
An interesting play from K1llsen, using the orb to actually go down through the grate onto Mega right away. Those rockets are solid. Vengeurr does manage to take Heavy, but he pays for it dearly. Manages to stack up quite alright though, but still, K1llsen, Mega will be going his way, and he's just continuing to apply this pressure to Vengeurr. That's what he has to do, and just find a way to make it crack.
Another one of those sneaky totems planted though. It's going to be power-up room this time. Another one. Oh, we're going to have a clash near Heavy. Looking for the rockets, and although K1llsen can stop the bleeding temporarily, Dire Orb's going to be down, and the rail! What a choice! What a choice! Vengeurr was prepared for a rocket fight, and that was the last thing that happened. Another LG fight, though. He's looking to push him back, collects the Mega and pushes K1llsen away, but a crucial rail! Again, 2 times in a row, and he'll take down the totem. That was perfectly fought there from K1llsen.
Yeah, excellent play, because he knew that Vengeurr, who had just only respawned, only had the Mega or the LG to work with, so K1llsen moves backwards out of range of the LG, and then Vengeurr can only use the machine gun, whereas K1llsen rails him, but there we go, Vengeurr instantly retaliating, railing him right back, and Vengeurr once again 1 point in the lead.
These These fights have been absolutely sublime so far. They're swapping to the rail because they know it's the best option at winning a fight, but you got to make sure you hit the shots. So many players today have been going for those options for rail, and they're just not hitting their mark, right? And the consequences are severe, but with Vengeurr and K1llsen, two of the best players in the world right now, it's no surprise they're able to execute these fights perfectly. Plenty more of this map left to go. Totem gets dropped, just a block, if anything. That's definitely going to be swiftly dealt with, but
yeah,
the next objective, man. Heavy's about to appear. An absolutely phenomenal rail again. Vengeurr pushed a little bit far back. K1llsen's going to bully him off.
K1llsen not going to decide to drop down, instead just holding that top position. Oh, there we go. He did drop down in the end, but is just going to use that opportunity to make Mega instead. And right now we're going to get a confrontation. K1llsen pushing it so aggressively. Rockets were very solid from Vengeurr, but ultimately the LG and the better positioning, the surprise out of K1llsen is what got him the frag right there.
Could have been a trade, but just fell a little bit short. K1llsen, he's going to miss a couple of rails, but not the end of the world so far. The mission's going to be trying to take that control, right? Vengeurr is going to drop the totem again. Has to watch out because he's very weak. And now, as the heavy's going to spawn, K1llsen has to get in and out. Vengeurr unable to reach him in time, which is actually could have been a bad situation for K1llsen. The tide's been changed almost instantly. Vengeurr needs to get some armor now with the rails that K1llsen's been hitting. You need to make sure you're not stuck on just HP. He's going to go for that safe self-nail and deny the light armor all the same.
Yeah, you gotta make those plays at this point because he knows that Vengeurr is just starving for armor right now, and if he can deny anything, even if it's just a small one to Vengeurr, that can help him out so much in the long run. K1llsen now making his move onto Heavy. Mega is up, and I think he's trying to use it as bait, knowing exactly where Vengeurr is. And there we go, out of the corners, out of the shadows, pushing in. Could have orbed, but Vengeurr actually managing to heal up quite nicely with that totem.
I'm loving this game of patience that we're seeing from Vengeurr. He does spring it, falls a bit short and pops the Dire Orb a little bit too early. Gives him, actually loses his angle on the LG because he just did it way too early in that fight.
Yeah, that could have very well been a frag. He had delayed it just another half a second or so, but Vengeurr again hurting the rails coming out of K1llsen, doing a decent amount of damage, but oh my god, the Tri-Bolt, the German is suffering!
Oh, he's going for even more. And finally, he's able to get in between the rhythm of the Tri-Bolt.
Vengeurr didn't actually realize that K1llsen got away. It seemed like he shot quite a few more Tri-Bolts in there. But right now, 3 minutes left on the clock, and Vengeurr one frag in the lead. I
feel like Vengeurr is, and has been this entire series, playing the long game. Like, he's very much not interested in giant frag differences. At no point, even when he has the lead, he's not afraid to give up control. If he can win the map on one frag, it looks like that's exactly what he's looking to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did last map as well. Won at one frag in overtime. So he will have no issues doing the exact same here. Heavy, next major item, and Vengeurr's got a really good position to punish. K1llsen takes a lot of damage. Oh, nice fakey on the orb though. If he had actually gone for that, that would have probably been a kill for Vengeurr. And 2 frags of a difference on Blood Run, that could very well spell the end.
Yeah, straight 50-50 right there. By all means, Vengeurr could have actually called the bluff and stayed holding the angle. Would have probably put K1llsen weak enough, and with Vengeurr's stack and the ammo, maybe could have rocket jumped up there and finished the job, but keeping K1llsen alive, but I'm concerned. Time is counting down. We're just over 2 minutes left on Blood Run, and if Vengeurr gets this, I mean, even without that third map, we're going to be going to, you know, a 2-0 at that point, and that's a win for Vengeurr. That's already his message sent. And the rail, K1llsen, 1 HP club. He's going to get the health bubbles, but that's all there is to it. There's not a lot of stuff left to heal him up around that part of the map.
No, not at all. And Vengeurr playing a safe game right now. K1llsen, all the pressure is on him. He's waiting down at rockets, getting himself the weapons that he needs, but he's got so little to work with. Doesn't even have more than like 20 armor on his side, and that is allowing Vengeurr to just take full control of the map. Heavy will probably be going his way as well. Mega definitely within reach too. Takes a nasty bit of damage right there though. K1llsen knows he needs to start hitting big, but he will miss the shot and Vengeurr will not. And that is an excellent play from the Italian.
All things considered, you can't take your eyes off the clock, can you? We're at 1 minute 15. Vengeurr has been playing the long game from start to finish. Get some immediate damage, and K1llsen, last lifeline, you could say, forced to retreat again. Vengeurr has maintained control over the final stretch, And even though he got caught off guard, K1llsen hesitant to dedicate, because if he went in there and pushed it and ate a return rail or some return LG, even a direct rocket at that health, and he would have been finished off by Vengeurr to just go in and finish the job. By the time K1llsen's been able to get some stack back up, yeah, he needs to hit this rail. He needs to hit the next one. He goes in for the rocket jump, and the rocket at the end. He needed that so desperately, Flea. What a choice. He's straight back in it.
Absolutely, K1llsen looking good. Vengeurr's got the stack advantage of the respawn though, but look at the tribal! Whoa! The vertical flick rail is going to put K1llsen one frag in the lead, and right now, the tables have turned completely. All the pressure is on Vengeurr. 20 seconds, can he find K1llsen? And again, as we talked about earlier, he's Galena. Very little mobility, very little offensive capabilities, and K1llsen has got that orb to get away with.
And it's a distance that Galena simply cannot chase down. If you're going to play the long game, you have to be prepared for it to go ham! And speaking of which, the final frag. K1llsen with a turnaround in quite literally the last possible minute. That was a fantastic turnaround.
Yeah.
And, I mean, composure through and through. That's what happens.
Absolutely, because I mean, you gotta keep yourself grounded in those situations, knowing how difficult it is to make up a frag deficit on a map like Blood Run. But K1llsen, he just stayed cool and he found the perfect opportunity to engage, and then that rocket jump up followed by that huge rocket down onto Vengeurr. What a beautiful shot.
And it's just, it's the decision making to say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it right now. It's just the on the spot moments of, if this goes pear-shaped, then it's over. But ultimately, in the last possible second, I feel like it was just the one thing. And after a couple of free frags, like, there were definitely 2 kills that went down for free at the beginning. It's what allowed Vengeurr to play that long game in the first place. But it didn't affect him. K1llsen was able to not only reclaim things at the last second, he was able to win the entire map. Vengeurr was seconds away from a 2-map victory against the world champion. That would have been so impactful. Like, some of these frags, he was making mistakes, but that final choice to rocket jump and dedicate, because he knew Vengeurr was far too weak. I mean, here it is. Bam! Right on the money. Vengeurr strafed right into it as well.
And that is a very, very brave play, because you know that you're up against someone with an amazing LG, with the lightning gun at the ready, and you're still just rocket jumping right into that. You need to have that rocket. If you jump up and you miss the following rocket, you're done. That would have been GG, but he kept his cool and he landed the shot. Beautiful.
I think when an entire map goes by and some of the fights just go like completely disastrous, there's no other way to describe, like, you know, the missed dire orb in power up room. I mean, the first minute of that map for K1llsen, where he kind of missed the orb and missed getting heavy and lost 2 frags really, really quickly. It's easy to start second guessing yourself when some fights just go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But the final choice didn't, and that's what matters. And now, I mean, the momentum is in K1llsen's favor. He's in a position now where he was able to, by all accounts, completely steal that one away. And now our final map, Corrupted Keep, BJ and Isen. It's going to be damage, sustainability, as always. But I think if it is a game of momentum, K1llsen has this one 2-1, surely.
Yeah, I mean, he must be feeling amazing right now. After those final frags, the rocket jump, the flick rail, and then the orb at the end, K1llsen's feeling it. He's running high right now, and I think he can definitely make that carry over into the next map as well. Although it's going to be entirely different. No railgun this time around, and that's a weapon that K1llsen used extremely well on Blood Run.
I'm quite concerned for Vengeurr now, though. I'm in a position where Vengeurr is... He is a pretty big, I think, critic on himself, and I've said this about Huang, because I actually think it's similar for him and Vengeurr. I mean, I guess it's something about the slightly younger generation of Quake player, isn't it? But where they hold themselves to a standard, and when they don't meet that standard, or they don't do something that they've kind of really set their mind to, be it a tournament result being a big one, if they don't hit it, it just really affects them. Vengeurr has been proven in tournament historically to have been affected by that stuff during the sets.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely saw that with him and Nosfer at QuakeCon, where Nosfer was just...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, by the end of the map, he was just destroying Vengeurr, because I feel like halfway through that map, Vengeurr had already given up. Because it's like, you just can't get a rhythm going. You could literally see it in his body language and his general demeanor that he just wasn't believing in himself. And if you don't believe in yourself at all, how can you even hope to win a map at all against someone that is feeling like the snowball effect through and through, which now K1llsen will be after how Blood Run just ended.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult for Vengeurr. He's going to have to, I think, set quite a few traps with the BJ, although it's quite difficult to do on the map that is corrupted keep, and he's got to keep an eye out for that turret, because we've seen it do a hell of a lot of damage. And here we go, jumping into the third and final map of this series. We're on K1llsen's point of view. Good opening rockets, and he will secure himself LG as well, meaning that he has at least a weapon advantage to start with.
Turret's already going to go down at the start of a map, though. I think wasting time is what matters in those situations. How, you know, Mega and Heavy, sometimes they get delayed. Sometimes it's a bit of a game of whether a player can take both. K1llsen taking a lot of damage on the way. Vengeurr with an impressive stack to return. But a lot has happened in 30 seconds, and Mega just about to appear. Does K1llsen spring a trap, or does he concede?
Oh, that's a good opening rocket. K1llsen doing a decent amount of damage onto Vengeurr. Heavy will be there as well. He drops, but oh my god, the LG. So good. Coming out of Vengeurr, just pushing K1llsen right back, and he won't even be able to take the item. Vengeurr is immediately going in for a second frag as well, and K1llsen goes down twice in under a minute.
Vengeurr went in for the kill. He knew that K1llsen was trying to push and get an LG squeeze in and out, but he just didn't have time on his side. Vengeurr was already there and outstacked him significantly. He's going to get the Mega as well. Should be in full position now to collect the Heavy. And if you're K1llsen and you're 2 frags down and you are already out of control, it's scary. Absolutely. Because Vengeurr, unlike the other maps where, you know, he might be a bit more timid, this is very much an aggressive player's map sometimes, especially when you hold complete control. The totem comes down, turret comes down, and it just, you know, it just diverts your attention, right? It means you can get maybe one free rocket off while they're bothering with your turret.
And it's also, it's worth pointing out that heavy or armor in general is very important for Vengeurr, because playing as Quake-llsen, picking up armor will actually decrease the respawn timer before you can use the ability again. So for Vengeurr to stay on top of that heavy armor, that's going to really help him out, because it's drastically going to speed up when he can use the turret.
It went from 17 to 6, I'm pretty just sure. So very, very pivotal. And on a map that has no rail, I think abilities become more prominent, because, you know, the less of a arsenal you have, the more important the stuff that exists to you becomes.
Yeah.
But the Mega gets taken anyway. But there's a really nice delay, a very substantial delay, which means that ultimately Vengeurr can just run the circuit, and with rockets like that, he is in such a good position to take this map. What a sequence. And the Heavy as a reward.
And he might be able to catch K1llsen right off the spawn, right at LG. K1llsen goes for the weapon, hoping he'll be able to get out of the room in time. But Vengeurr is there so quickly to just shut him down instantly. And no, it might happen again. Vengeurr will take himself the Mega health, and K1llsen does manage to get out of the room, but he drops right down. Dual LG does come out. And it looks like Vengeurr might actually give up. Heavy.
I mean, the problem is that he's not going to have dual wield for the Heavy itself. And, you know, is Vengeurr even worried about the fact that K1llsen collects Heavy? Is he just showing so much respect that he says, you know what, go on, take it. See how I care. I've got 4 frags. I have loads of stuff around the map to collect. I don't even need that Heavy to win the next fight. K1llsen again, distracted by the turret. Taking free damage, in fact. And it's just allowing Vengeurr to get in there and deal some bonus damage. I don't even feel like it's a complete detriment that Vengeurr hasn't collected that Mega either. Like, K1llsen, he is playing the runaway game just to try and not get killed again at this stage. And, oh my word, this should be Vengeurr's time to die. I swear if he survives.
Doesn't land the damage, he's gonna get out.
Oh my word.
And he will get some elbows.
And the turret to tag team it. He's taking a lot of damage now, has to get in.
Yeah.
Try and dodge as the Mega's gonna spawn. The mission's going to be to force Vengeurr away, though. Didn't even have time to collect those health bubbles. And now there's so much that K1llsen can collect if he needs to.
Yeah, good play from K1llsen, reading Vengeurr perfectly, knowing just how low he is. Gotta still be careful of the nail gun, though. Look at that damage coming out. 62 points of health left, but he's right there.
I do not know why he jumped down. I do not know why K1llsen jumped.
I think K1llsen just completely thought that Vengeurr went back into the room, that it was safe for him to go for Heavy, but oh, hell no. And there comes the damage, and now Vengeurr actually looking in a pretty good shape to take back control.
I am shocked K1llsen not only survived that, but managed to get a bigger stack than Vengeurr. That was so scary indeed, and props to K1llsen for not making it easy and not even giving up a frag in that position. And now the Heavy's going to spawn. Taking out the turret as we go. Heavy has been taken, but by no means is K1llsen in a bad position. He has lost rockets, though.
Yeah.
And that might be a bit disastrous. It means he can't even take the fight at least. Has to concede a little bit of the map in the meantime. But thanks to no Mega just yet. He's not completely out. Pops the dual wield, I think just to force him away. That was... I want to play a sound that means Vengeurr runs away.
Yeah, well, and at this point we're 5 minutes, so halfway through the map, and Vengeurr's got a pretty sizable lead, although that is something that can change very quickly in Corrupted Keep. While you might not have the same angles that you have for spawn frags on Awoken, you can still very often get your opponent off guard if you position yourself in the right place and manage to win a fight in the right scenario.
Okay, so we're going back to that turn taking of Vengeurr and Heavy. K1llsen only able to get a little bit of damage at first, but that's quickly undone by some excellent ones. Whoa, that rocket almost hit its mark, didn't it? Ambushes him near nail gun room, but he's done so much damage that once more Vengeurr has to respect. And now, I mean, this is a difficult position. How does Vengeurr try and escape? The rocket jump to chase it down. He can hear where he's running off to. By all means, do not use the jump pad. He's caught him. This should be his frag. Yep. He goes up the jump pad anyway. I think just a vain attempt to land a direct rocket, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, there's some situations where you know you're done for, you know you're not going to get out alive, so the best thing you can often do is just get as much damage as you can, and right now Vengeurr realizes the turret has been helping him out tremendously, and he's going to move in with the machine gun. Mega, is he going to drop for it? K1llsen has got the better position, but what?
I mean, I think he just fancied his chances, right? You know, sometimes a player will think they've caught the rhythm of the rockets in and out, and man just jumped in a little bit too early and ate it for breakfast. He's going to give up more of a frag difference. Vengeurr now leading the charge by 3 over halfway too. That's a one hell of a mistake to make in the final map.
Yeah, this is looking good for Vengeurr, landing excellent rockets here as well, forcing K1llsen back out of the room. Mega up in 5 seconds. He's surrendering position on it though. This is really good for K1llsen. Pushing Vengeurr out of the room. Mega will be going to the German. Now Vengeurr has got set up for Heavy, putting down the turret, hoping to, if K1llsen comes out of that the teleport, he'll do some damage for him.
There's been such a delay in between Heavy and Vengeurr at the same time that what originally was actually quite advantageous for Vengeurr, that delay in the items has now actually gone out of his control and it's benefiting K1llsen. That said, Vengeurr, he's not going to be afraid just yet. He knows he has got a lead. As long as he can be as hard to catch as possible, as annoying as possible, 3 minutes to go. I mean, allow K1llsen to have control. What if he can't catch you for 3 minutes?
Yep. Still though, 3 frags, 3 minutes, that's 1 a minute. That does give K1llsen a whole lot of time on a smaller map like Keep to make something happen, but that's an excellent rocket coming out of Vengeurr that's going to send K1llsen flying and burn quite a few seconds off the clock. And here we go, Vengeurr finds the last bit of armor that he needs, stacked right back up to 100, and is in a good position to take the Texas fight.
No entry rockets from K1llsen so far have been enough that K1llsen is content that he can actually take a fight. And there's going to reach a point too where if K1llsen wants to maintain control, and I'm sure he's already well aware that Vengeurr is not interested in taking a fight, there's going to come a point where you have to try and make something happen. And if Vengeurr is able to evade you for long enough while you're chasing him, and then he collects a Mega or a Heavy on the way, not only is he evading you, but now he's actually starting to get an element of control back without actually having to change his strategy.
Yeah. And that means that you as K1llsen are then just have to go into full desperation mode and take a fight, even if it's incredibly disadvantageous for you. But look at this, Vengeurr actually almost takes it home.
But you know what we just talked about?
Yep, he takes Mega and cripples K1llsen, and right now that's going to take K1llsen quite some time to get stacked back up from. And that's just time ticking away off the clock, allowing Vengeurr a better and better odds of winning this one.
And it's wasted a lot of time now. K1llsen has to spend a lot of his time trying to just get a little bit of control back. He's going to take the Heavy in this case, but is that enough? 1.5 minutes left. Actually, 1.5 minutes already wasted. That was so well played from Vengeurr. This change of pace on a whim. Very impressive stuff indeed, and the fact that he was able to zip in and steal the Mega, it's just one full rotation when he has 3 frags left to get. He can't afford to lose that time.
Rockets are really good coming out of Vengeurr. The defensive damage, even though he's vastly outstacked by K1llsen, those little chips of damage, that's what's going to keep him on top and force his opponent to stay away and respect the damage still. 50 seconds left.
He's going to drop the turret once more. K1llsen fully in that desperation mode that you talked about earlier, Flea, where he has no choice but to just pile in now, secure a frag. He's only got a little bit of time to finally make something happen, and he's just bouncing around like a pinball at this stage. Doesn't even matter. Yeah, K1llsen's already in with the GGs. He knows he hasn't got time. He knows he can't catch him in the 30 seconds he's got left, and this is an absolute knockout of a result for Vengeurr. Week number 3, there's plenty more qualifiers left to go. Vengeurr, yes, he's already thrown in the towel. He knows he can't win. Vengeurr has taken the win this week, taking out the world champ and sending that message that he's been looking to send since Pro League began.
This is so good for Vengeurr. It's going to give him a huge boost of confidence moving into the next weeks. And I mean, what a better way to do it than to beat K1llsen, winner of Quake, and at this point, Slayer of Cooler, back-to-back 3-0s. So Vengeurr is going to be feeling so good about himself.
Vengeurr has had a pretty damn good experience so far. I mean, I know we just saw the last week Vengeurr scored himself a 3-0 on Garpy, and he was already able to defeat Toxic in week number 1, and I mean, he is one by one collecting some pretty big names, and K1llsen as one of those players, that is one hell of a name to take off this early in Pro League. Well done to Vengeurr. He's probably having a ear-to-ear grin as we speak, and he's going to be more than chuffed with the result. I'm sure Maestro will be too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this looks like it might really be the year that Vengeurr comes out and shines. Because, as I mentioned at the start, he's gotten really close repeatedly, but hasn't been placing very well at big lands so far. But this might really be the time he does it, the Quake Pro League.
But I mean, the first LAN we're having after Pro League has began. I mean, the weeklies have began. I know the first LAN was QuakeCon, obviously.
Yeah.
But the next LAN that we have being Italy, I mean, does this just make Vengeurr our main character of this story? Is he the player that everyone's watching?
It might very well be. I mean, he's also got the home field advantage. The best result he's ever had at a LAN so far was indeed at ESL Italy. So maybe he can do it once again. And yeah, after that disappointing performance back at QuakeCon, this should definitely turn that frown upside down because he is doing so well right now.
I mean, I wouldn't even say, that this was a massive, I suppose, loss for K1llsen, because I have absolute confidence that K1llsen's going to be able to come back and take out most of the players in this bracket because of just how well he's been able to do against them anyway. But it's just that Vengeurr played exceptionally well.
Yeah.
It's not that K1llsen played bad in this set. It's just in Corrupted Keep especially, the moment Vengeurr decided to change the pace, K1llsen, the moment he realized what was going on, he just simply couldn't find him. And Vengeurr just played perfectly. This slow defensive style where you're running away, like, I know not everyone enjoys watching the runaway style from a viewer's perspective, because, naturally we all enjoy the high-octane action of frag, Garpy and Sparty levels of 30 to 3. Everyone loves watching those maps, but, I mean, at this level of play, surely it's got to be exceptionally hard to run away for 3 minutes against the current world champion on one of the smallest maps in the entire game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, that was not easy.
It takes a lot of skill. And I mean, he had to keep putting out the damage. He would not have been able to run away the way he did if he didn't land those consistently amazing rockets and catch him off guard with LG. So it takes a ton of skill to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, like I said, this is just the start. Week 3, we've only just scratched the surface of what the Quake Pro League is going to bring to the table. And Vengeurr is, while already was one of the players to watch, has kind of reached the top of that list. I'll be very, very excited to see what he does in future weeks and the lands to come. So we have got, I think that is our EU and CIS coming to a close. I think there's a little bit to take away from today. I think so. The biggest talking points, I think, the two biggest talking points, I think, so far would be that Vengeurr moving up on in the ranks, proving more than enough times that he is one of the best players in the business at such a young age. I'm very, very proud of him, and well done. On the opposite end, not so positive. I'm very, very concerned about Toxic after week 3.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Toxic really just has to change something because what he is doing right now isn't working. That hyper-aggressive playstyle where he just puts himself in a super confrontational position every single time he as much as picks up a weapon, it's not working for him. He's dropping so many frags and just every single game almost, I feel like we see him lose 5-6 frags at the very start, and then even if he does manage to find his groove, he gets into his rhythm, it just doesn't work anymore because he's too far down.
Well, I've just been told we have indeed got the leaderboards updated and ready to show you, so we'll see what that has meant today. Vengeurr looking crispy up top, and considering Base hasn't played this week and he's already up there, that's quite a nice position to be in. Juan has been able to make himself into a top 3 placing. K1llsen still looking good currently, and Razy, Cooler, Avec all looking strong too. But
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a sad day for Sweden, I feel like. Looking at the scoreboard down there, both Spardy and Toxic are on the chopping block right now.
I just can't take my eyes off the fact that Toxic is down there at the bottom, and he has played all 3 weeks. It's a bit of an alarm bell for me.
Yeah.
And well, that's what the Challenger League is all about, isn't it? We're reaching a point where the challengers have a chance to dethrone those at the bottom of Pro League. But that just means that we're guaranteed some wicked games as far as I'm concerned. Can you imagine if we reach a point where it's Toxic versus Sirius? Like, that would be crazy.
Absolutely, yeah. That would be a high-stake game too, especially if it's on about who gets to enter the Pro League and who has to leave it in return. And moving on, we actually got the world rankings here ahead of us as well. Now, obviously, keep in mind that NA still has to play for Week 3, so they're obviously suffering a little bit for points, but still, Rafa, first place, still.
And Rafa is projected to once more receive probably a 3-0 today, maybe. And I mean, K1llsen sitting right up there on top, regardless of a week. And that's what being the champ gives you in terms of comfort zone. I'm really keeping an eye on how things are going. But I mean, if Vengeurr keeps having performances like that, he is just going to ascend in the world ranking. And if he continues to rack up wins the way he has today versus the caliber of competition, I mean, we could see this guy within the top 4 by the end of the LAN, no question.
Yeah, I also really want to point out Quake's frag count. Despite only being in 3rd place, he has the most frags out of anyone by a pretty considerable margin. He's the only player to reach the 500 frags so far, putting himself 30 few over Rafa at this point.
Well, K1llsen did have a bye in week number 1. So that's the comfort zone for me for K1llsen and K1llsen, that they are where they are in the world rankings, but the two of them didn't play in week 1.
Yeah.
So the rest of the weeklies, some of these players still are yet to have a bye week where they will receive no points. K1llsen and K1llsen got it out the way early.
Yeah.
And they were already super high up in the world ranking.
That's true.
So they have a fantastic position. Before we cut over to North America, anything you want to say about EU CIS?
Well, I mean, I think we've had an amazing day of matches so far. We've seen a few trios, very quick, very one-sided games, but then we've also seen a huge upset. Vengeurr taking down K1llsen, the champion, the cheetah himself. That's gonna put a smile on his face for sure. But then also the lows, Toxic again, 0-3 going down.
I'm going to continue to believe in Toxic. I think, he's experienced and he's well-versed in tournaments at this stage. And, he's going to be more aware than anyone that something needs to change. Yeah. And there needs to be some adjustments made to his game plan. He has got plenty of time left. This is only week number 3. And we're only halfway through of tonight's broadcast. Thank you for watching EU and CIS. If this is where you leave us, we love you and thank you. But if you love Quake and you want to stick around, then stay tuned because we are moments away from kicking off week 3 of the Americas. My name is K1llsen and I'm joined by Flea. This is the Quake Pro League, and we'll see you on the other side after the break.